Hey guys, Wednesday, November 13 of 2024. Let's see what the Black Widow is doing in live price action. I want to apologize. I was up late and overslept, but I guess I needed it. I've been working hard. So please accept my apologies for not bringing in the US pre-market open. But you know what? It's probably good because it's already, what? I don't know, 9:14, maybe 10:14 in the East Coast. Let's see what the Black Widow is doing right now. I'm narrowing in on my market profile and just want to kind of see what has transpired here. First off, this day, the bulls showed up in droves and popped it up. The next day, the bears came and had a little bit of an edge because the bears see, okay, there is a technique of a failed new high. So if we have a failed new high and they're going to pounce here since shorts came in here. So there's a lot of stops above here. Just remember that there's a lot of stops. We come down, change of contract, boom, boom, boom. Nice pop. Try to regain it and fail. Now there's more stops in this area. So there was more stops here, there's stops here, and now a new bunch of stops here from the bears. And they're all leaning, and they have the right to lean. That, you know, seasonality-wise, this is where nat gas, you know, the Black Widow gets a little weak in November. And it's all about timing right now, I guess. It's about who has the right time frame and whose technique or technical analysis is going to pinpoint what's going to happen here. So there's a lot of things, you know, a lot of moving parts, a lot of spinning tops, a lot of theories, a lot of techniques saying, you know, it could go higher, it could go lower, or, you know, there's maybe a few that says, yeah, we'd probably be sideways. Either way, and then not including the, you know, the politics with Trump winning. Some say, and this is what I'm hearing, I'm not sure if it's true, but some say that, you know, if he gets into office, he won, but he's not in office yet. But once he gets sworn into office, that natural gas could potentially really, you know, start moving higher. Because they say that Trump is for energy. And that's very possible, you know, but who knows? But he's for energy. So let's see, you know, if once he gets into office and he's in power, what's going to happen there. But I just wanted to show you, you know, the dynamics of what's happening right now, because I am going to be updating my computer and hopefully I get to do a US session close. But you know how it is when you update computers, you know, you guys use computers all day to trade. When you update it to a new operating system, you know, you got to make sure that all the things you use, you know, are, you know, compatible with the new system. So it's one of those things that, you know, I'm like, I have to do it. I just have to upgrade. I haven't done it in a while. So I'm hoping everything kind of works together. And if it doesn't, I'll make it work so I can at least post the video. So as soon as this video is done, I'm going to be working on that. All right. So I got you up to date. So this is what I am thinking and leaning. It could potentially turn here, but I have a gut feeling that it might want to push higher before it turns. I feel like it wants to grab this liquidity that's up here, get it, maybe hit 340. You can see the market profile here, and I'm not even, this is what, this is 1 year. I need to probably do 5 years to see. But some of the things I've been using, been showing 340, you know, the different levels. But, you know, on a realistic target, it could probably be somewhere up in this ballpark. So far, the bulls are showing up. They're defending this area. Point of control within a year is 276. We didn't get that far. We took out this low of 285. And it looks like it was like a bear trap. And then the bulls are squeezing out the bears. Now it'll be different if we take out this low and this value area high. Let's go into, before we do that, let's do our trend line, see what's going on with our trend line. And yeah, it's above the trend line, so that's good. So that's holding. And it's above the anchored VWAP, so that's good. You know, in regards to these indicators, that's good. We just need to take out this high. Let's go into our simple glance. Notice the candles. The trend is white on all time frames. That's good for bullish momentum. And I believe this is Hekanashi. You guys don't mind if I take my time? I'm already late for the open, so there's not really no rush. I'm gonna take our time. I'm just kind of dissecting the chart, not being rushed. Look at the trend. Look at the candle trend. It's just the indicator. They're all white. One. MACD on the monthly is positive. You're above the 20. We got to deal with the 200 and the 50, but that's like way up there. And we got to deal with this high of 315? That's next if we get to push higher. And it could potentially push even higher. But we'll see. You got this linear regression channel, but we're taking baby steps. Let's see if we could take out, this pivot high of 301. On the weekly, the linear regression channel is pointing up. So meaning if it wants to push higher, it could probably kiss this area. And this is where I would probably unload here. And here, it didn't kiss it yet. This linear regression channel here, but this is where I would probably take some off. I took a little bit off when we came here. But I'm still holding long. I want to see if we could get that final blowout. We'll see. PPS buy signal. We above the cloud in the mid time frame. So the mid time frame is the weekly, and this is the weekly. So monthly, weekly, daily. I have all three, and I'm observing all three time frames right in front. And on the mid time frame, you're above point of control and above the cloud on the mid time frame. On the short time frame, you're above the cloud. You're above the 20, the 50, the 100, the 200 SMA. So in the short time frame, which is the daily, we're doing good. The only thing is that the linear regression channel is sideways, kind of chopped. And if I lower this here, you can see it's the end is right here. So there's going to be some resistance, but it could probably blow there. But it could be careful because then this from here, it could probably we could stall here, and then that seasonality, if it plays out, could kick in. So that's why I'm very cautious here. There's a lot of tricks. MACD is positive on the weekly. MACD is positive on the daily, but it looks like it's kind of losing some Momo. So we have to be very careful here. So that's my observation. Nothing, looking at the daily, look at that wick of people buying, bulls just showing up. So it looks pretty good. And my red projection line, remember the red projection line? If you've been following me like really hardcore, you know that I have one that is going up, and somewhere in November or December starts stalling, going down. That's the one I'm leaning on, and this is why I think that maybe it's going to follow that. So I wouldn't fall in love with the downside yet, and I wouldn't fall in love too much also on the upside, because this is this transition where it could turn early, or it could follow it, get some liquidity out here, and then turn. I'm leaning more that it could do this, but I'm always thinking in the back of my mind that maybe she might stall here and turn. And on top of that, large speculators are short. So the higher nat gas goes, the more pain large speculators are going to feel. Let's go. And the MACD, it's still positive, hasn't crossed over yet. Let's go into our geometry chart. So from the 1027 high, which was 363, if my mind is still, bright and Einsteinish. Is that a word? Einsteinish? Maybe. I don't know. I just try to think of smart people. That first impulse from that 1027 high of 363, this is your midpoint right here. And It's a 50%, which is 293, and you can see that it has some influence because when we first got there, it started stalling, but then we pierced, and then it was just chop fest until they brought it down. Change of is that change of contract? Yep, change of contract back. Gap, price action gap, and did it again, and now pulling back, but buyers are still coming up. So that's a good sign if you're still holding long, because you know why? The bulls are defending it, and the bears are like, oh man, look at this. This was our opportunity, fell new high and pushed lower, and they keep buying it. So if the bears are short, they're getting spooked right now, especially I would get spooked. I would get personally spooked with this candle. I'm like, oh, hell no. I gotta close this. People are showing up. The pressure's gonna build, and maybe tomorrow this thing, EIA report. Some people lean on it, some people don't. Some people think it's a scam. Whatever. Some traders watch it, and if it's bullish or whatever, or if it's bearish, whatever it is, and it continues going higher, the bears are gonna get really, 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 really scared. Anything else? Let's look at our FT levels here. And so far, we are defending this area of 284 to 286. This is DNA levels of nat gas. And we pierced it, but bounced off. So that is a good sign. Some of you may be asking, where's the next DNA level of nat gas up here? You know what? I don't have one. I have to work on that. But it's because we haven't gone anywhere. Excuse me. Let me get got a cup of coffee here. Yeah. So 284, 286 is holding. And that's a good sign. Yeah, you can see my FT levels. We go all the way to 141. And we got gaps. Let me remind you, gaps, change of contract gaps. Because I know some of you are weird about that. Change of contract gap here. And change of contract somewhere, or it's further to the left. But these are the levels. This one got filled, so that's gone. And I'm thinking maybe this gets filled if the seasonality plays out. And once this one, especially the 190, 184 gets filled, I'm going to build a big position, because then that will lead me into the Trump, if he gets elected. I mean, not elected, if he gets in power and the transfer of power is smooth and all that, who knows what, this country, we're living in interesting times. But if everything is smooth, I think from here, 2025 is going to be, very interesting with nat gas. So, and if it doesn't play out and it's just grinding higher, sideways to higher from here, it's not going to wait for Trump to be in power or be officially sworn in. It might just get ahead of itself. And, because sometimes these gap fills don't get filled. Unfortunately, they just, they remain there. And I could probably look at some evidence where that's played out. Maybe on other instruments, maybe on nat gas. Maybe that could be a homework for you. But it may play out, it may not, it may get covered, filled, it may not, but it's always good to know that it's there. So just in case it gets filled, that could be maybe your other trigger, where if you think that 2025 is going to be bullish for nat gas, and once this thing gets filled, and if it does in the seasonality of weakness, which will be, you could say January and February, she normally kind of sideways to lower, and then she goes up. This is the sweet spot, maybe building in a position with UNG and ETF or whatever, not financial advice, but something, low risk. Is like, all right, I'm going to, buy a little bit here, and then you see what happens. And as it goes higher, just, build a position. But don't get too crazy and fill up the truck here, because we're dealing with a lot of unknown. So let's go into the midpoint. It's already 928. So let's look at the big picture. So there is a level here. We got a PPS buy signal, is it? Yeah. Yep. And you got 286. You can say 286 on the yearly pivot. And we at 290. So we're above that. And everything looks pretty good on the mobile and on the Stokes. So on the monthly level, I think we almost kissed the 75%, which is 281. And buyers just came, and you can see that it's still bullish, still hanging in there. Just a little choppy here, but still hanging in there. And we have a pivot here of 290-ish, 290-ish. Yep, 291, 292. You can say 291, and we're somewhere around 291. So we're bunting heads right here. So this is a quadrant on the monthly that you want to keep an eye on. So this is in between here and the high of last month, which is 302. So you got 302, 291, and you got your 75%, which is 281. We're right smack in the middle. If you're bullish, you want to see it go and test this. If it goes sideways, that's good, because it's undecided yet, and it's ready for maybe the EIA report. If it goes down from here, and this doesn't hold, then watch out, because these are the bigger the bigger levels. Now, when we go into our 4-hour using the weekly, you can see that we pierce the purple, which was 297, went as high as 301, failed, found support at the moving average, and bounced off of it. Didn't even kiss the, you could say, the high of last week, which was 281. Never made it that far. And now we're above here. So you could keep an eye on 289. Target for 296 if you're, if you're, I don't know, maybe swing, not swing trading, but maybe like scalping here and there. We could get to 296. But so far, the 4-hour mobiles is a little negative compare. And you can see that there is some kind of weakness. And if we put our Hikanashi candle on, it looks like now it's starting to turn positive. So things are looking positive right now, but the trend is still kind of down on the 4-hour. We need to break above 292 to be on the good side, which is right here, the mobile bands, to at least have a potential to kiss the 296. But so far, it's right there in that point where on the 4-hour, the next candle could be positive and maybe push higher. But this is the candle you want to keep an eye on. That's why I like the Hikanashi. When you put the regular candle, I mean, you can still see that it's a bull kicker candle. And then once it turns white and you're above 292, then the mobiles will turn green and you're more looks more better for the bulls. And then eventually the mobiles will follow. But very interesting, nice snapback here. And then they did another one here, and now is trying to regain. The important ones here is the blue one. The green one is a little weak. So that's a little concerning, but as long as they start going up, the pressure, could be to the upside. And lastly, the hourly. Because this is the one I watch. And then I have another chart that I'd never show because that's more of my trading stuff, coming in and out, scalping or whatever. This is the line in the sand for today. You're still trading. You get to watch this while you're trading today. 293. What we don't want to see as bulls is that we go up here in the US session somewhere, I don't know, before 12 or whatever. We hit this and then kind of stall and then start going like this as the US session closes. We don't want to see that as bulls because then we're already failing the midpoint and things could start, escalating more to the downside. And then the next thing you want to keep an eye on is this low. If we take out that low, then maybe our high is in. And I have to, get out of my longs because maybe it's going to be stair stepping down November, December, maybe January, and maybe finalize in February or between January and February. So those are the things you want to keep on your radar and kind of keep on the back of the mind if you back of your mind if you are a bull. But this is the line in the sand. If we could close above 293 and hold it in the US session, there's a high probability that maybe in the overnight London session, we might probably try to reach to 301 and then kind of go sideways around there for the EIA report and see what happens. But then once that comes out, see the, traders' reactions, then it could just, it's 50-50. It could explode. It could just go down. Whatever the number is, that's going to affect natural gas. But so far, the mobiles are positive but below the zero line, and the Stokes are getting Momo to the upside. So there's buyers showing up, and they want to push it higher. But if they're strong enough, they'll kiss 293 and kind of stay above 293, even if they could get to 297, and just kind of be, in this range in the overnight until that number comes out at 10. So that's my scenario. We don't want to see this and do this. And if it does this and do this, I'd rather have it go sideways. And then once the number goes out, either explode to the upside or, if it's going to go down. But if it's going to go up, we know what we got to do in regards to that. All right. Hopefully that's helpful in real time. That's it for me. I'm going to see if I could play some trades as this is playing out, because I had to do some errands this morning, and I wanted to do this quick video. So you'll probably get misleaded by the title. It's not pre-US market open. It's pretty much, already where the action is happening. So I'm going to sign out. Hope you like this video, and I'll keep you posted on my thoughts on that gas.